ESPN's latest insult towards the Chiefs. Please let them be wrong. Let's talk about it. Chiefs Kingdom NFL fans worldwide. Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. Good to be with you tonight. Do your boys a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in here. Let's get this out to more people. Have a good night. ESPN's Football Power Index released its preseason rankings and has the Chiefs ranked 9th overall entering the 2026 season. That's their lowest preseason FPI ranking since 2018, the year that Patrick Mahomes became a starter. Real quick, want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We'll have more on them here in just a bit. But, Mike, how do you feel about the Chiefs being ranked 9th overall?
Right, yeah. It's pretty low. As you mentioned, it's our lowest since Patrick Mahomes was not a starter in 2017, so it's coming off the Alex Smith team. Patrick Mahomes, we've seen what happened in 2018. It was amazing. They proved them wrong. I think they're going to prove them wrong again this year. But here we go. We'll go through the rankings here really quickly. The Rams are at the top spot by almost 2 points. I guess Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie combination that they added is apparently the most epic team they've ever seen in the NFL. The Bills at a +4 is really wild to me. I don't know if the Bills done enough for me to make them the number 2 favored team in the FBI rankings. The Ravens, who basically almost didn't they miss the playoffs last year? Or I mean, if they didn't, they didn't. They were they were horrible. Let's just put it that way. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl. They've got them at number 4. I think that's a little bit of a slight. 49ers, Packers, Chargers, Lions, then Chiefs, and then above the Eagles as well. So I don't know if I agree with these FPI rankings. We'll put it that way. Right. I just don't know if I agree with how it looks.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, this isn't ESPN writers disrespecting the Chiefs or these other teams, right? It's an analytics model. So the FPI is designed to predict the future performance based on roster strength, efficiency metrics, betting markets, prior performance, injuries, and projected team strength. So that's where they have the Chiefs is at number 9. This is just an AI, basically. Like, this is what we're predicting. Mike, I think it's a tad bit low for my expectations for the Chiefs this season. But after last season, it's hard to argue with anything that has the Chiefs ranked a little bit lower than you would like them to be. But I think what makes this so interesting is like the historic parallel there, Mike. Back in 2018, as I mentioned, Patrick Mahomes' first season as a starter, the FPI ranking for them was 14th. And then at the end of that season, you go back, you look at the results, 12-4 record, reached the AFC Championship game. Mahomes won the NFL MVP, and that started the run of 7 straight AFC Championship appearances. So it doesn't necessarily indicate what's to come. It's just this weird model they have to try to predict the future.
Right. They were ranked lower back in 2018, but again, they were wrong. And I feel like they could be wrong here. Now, where the article did go in, and you got to give them a little bit of grace on the ranking here, because as you mentioned, we didn't do a lot last year, and Patrick Mahomes is coming off of that injury. They attributed the low ranking to specifically offensive struggles relative to its previous highs over the past couple of seasons. That was the quote. So I think they're spot on there. The offense has struggled. We've seen the offense be struggling for years. It's felt stagnant. It's felt stale. But I do think we did a lot to address it. Now, look, where you could say, well, we kind of fell short. Maybe you could have tried to add more to the tight end room. Maybe you could have looked at a right tackle if you're not good with where we are now. And then, of course, the wide receiver room, the wide receiver room, I'll get that out in a second. Some people think that's just complete crap. And I don't know if I'm with you. I don't think the wide receiver room is great, but Patrick Mahomes has definitely had worse wide receiver rooms in Kansas City.
Yeah, I would say so. And I'm right there with you, man, because I think there's 3 things that kind of attribute the Chiefs to being number 9 in this model, right? And I think number 1 you already touched on was the offensive decline. They haven't exactly been the offense that you saw between 2018 and 2022 lately. It's been, terrible to watch. It's not been effective whatsoever. It's been disheveled. And you'll see flashes from time to time that make you think, like, man, I really miss those days. But they just can't get it together, right? Even when they've won in these last, say, 4 years, they've kind of won ugly in a lot of games. Let's be honest here. The explosive plays just haven't been there consistently. And I think this model kind of focuses more on dominance and less about rings lately and things like that. It's kind of just going by the roster and how good this team has been. Also, it's going by roster turnover, Mike. And I mean, Kansas City lost a lot of talent in the secondary. They had significant roster changes. And I know that they have kind of filled those in the draft and things like that, but no one's proven yet. So it's kind of still up in the air. And then, of course, the Mahomes uncertainty coming off of the injury to the ACL. I think that might be the biggest thing that really throws a wrench in the gears here for the Chiefs, because I don't know if anyone's completely convinced that Mahomes is going to be back to himself come week 1 of the NFL season.
Yeah, well, I am. I think Mahomes is going to be ready to go. I absolutely do. Just the more I watch about Mahomes and the more they're talking about him, like, look, is there going to be a little bit of limitations in this and that? Absolutely, probably. But if anything, I think Mahomes is going to be stronger at the end of this as a quarterback, because it is going to teach him patience. It's going to correct some of his flaws in his footwork and his mechanics that he's always struggled with. It's going to make this team rely on the run game a little bit more, which we've all begged for. You're going to lean into that Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker. You've got some young guys there in Emmett Johnson, Brashard Smith, you name it, Imari DeMarcado. All these guys can contribute. We have to let them contribute, and we have to come together more as a team. I think over the past few years, it's got the front office has relied way too much on Patrick Mahomes. It's been like, hey, Mahomes, go carry us, buddy. Do what you do.
Of course.
And I think that those days have to be a little bit over with. If for nothing more, that Patrick Mahomes is continually each year in and year out from here on out to 2033, he's just going to get a little older, less mobile, less everything.
Absolutely. Guys, appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor, hit that like button. Y'all get in the chat. Let us know what you think about everything, what you think about the Chiefs being 9th overall. Do you think that's fair? Do you think it's crazy? Let us know what you're thinking about it. I think a lot of people probably think it's a bit disrespectful considering the Chiefs' past in this past decade, right? And when you really look at it, it's like the Chiefs have the best quarterback on earth. They have Andy Reid, one of the best coaches to ever do it. They've won multiple Super Bowls in the Mahomes era, and they've dominated the AFC for nearly a decade. So when you think about it from that perspective, and then you have this ESPN model saying the Ravens are better, the Bills are better, the Chargers are better, all these NFC teams are better. I think that's where Chiefs Kingdom and me and you, Mike, even start to roll our eyes a little bit.
Yeah, Steve, they're acting as though we did not correct any mistakes from last year, and that's completely false. We upped our running game. That was our biggest thing, and we have leaned into that a lot. Yes, we didn't go out and sign tons and tons of wide receivers, but we got Tyquan Thornton back, who looked really good last year. We have Jalen Royals. Looks like he's going to step up a little bit and actually use him. We drafted Cyrus Allen, who is a better route runner. We've done plenty of things to help this team. That's just offensively. Defensively, we've made the defensive line a little bit better. We've added, corners across the board that's pretty good. Alohi Gilman at safety, not a bad signing there. Kyrus Tonga. Like, we've upgraded in multiple areas, and they're acting as though the Chiefs didn't do anything, yet the Bills and the Ravens didn't do as much as we did, and yet magically they're right back in the top 5. So to me, it's just always a slight, and it's always a little bit of a dig at Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They hate us because we're from the Midwest. That's all it is.
Right, but here's the funniest part of the entire thing. The same model still gives the Chiefs the 7th best odds to win the Super Bowl. So while they think they're only the 9th best team in the league, they still rank them as the 7th best odds to win the Super Bowl, which goes to show you, even this weird AI model that they use knows if you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Andy Reid, then you got a good shot at making it to the playoffs and making a run for the Super Bowl. So I think that's still the Mahomes effect, even when you start looking into these weird analytics and everything else. And I just think when you really think back to like 2018, I think that's what makes this like a kind of a powerful conversation, because you go back to 2018 and we didn't know what we had with Patrick Mahomes fully. I mean, we all were very hopeful. The team hadn't been that great in a long time. I mean, we'd been getting through the playoffs and kind of dipping after the first round. And then that year is significant because that was the turnaround for this franchise. 100%. I mean, Patrick Mahomes went off that year, like 50 touchdown passes and, the MVP that year and everything else. And that is the last time the Chiefs were ranked this low by this model. So I think that maybe we can have a similar turnaround this season. Maybe this season is where it's like, hey, we're down in the weeds a little bit, but we are still who you think we are, and we're going to be back at it. And like you said, they added so much. The Kenneth Walker thing is going to prove to be massive. I think implementing a run game into this offense and being able to open this offense back up and get it back to where it was back between 2018 and 2022, I think that's a major, major thing for this team, Mike, because I've argued over and over again, I don't think the defense was the problem last year. I don't think it was the problem the year before that. I think our offense being stagnant and shitty was the problem all along. So if we can get that rolling, and then we've still picked up some pieces on defense. I know they're young, but Spags can do Spags things with these guys. They're very talented players. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it could be a really nice bounce back year for the Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. I see people in the chat asking, that was the wrong one, sorry. Chiefs 63 KCMO says, we don't know any improvement yet until we play. Absolutely, that's fair. That applies to all the other teams above us too. That's the Bills. That's the Ravens. What did they do that was so significant? I don't see anything that's significant, and they all have to prove it too. So, yes, I think in rankings like these, you got to lean towards trends. You have to lean towards who you're coaching, your players, your pieces, your pillars. And I think it's an insult to the Chiefs. It's an insult to the Chiefs that you're going to do that. It's actually an insult to the Seattle Seahawks as well, in my opinion, that they didn't get a little higher than they did. Why are the Chargers up there?
Hey, Mike,
I don't even think the Chargers.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing overall that you find it disrespectful that the Chiefs are just considered contenders now and not the outright favorite. That tells you how good the Chiefs have been for a decade.
Right.
Think about that.
Just kind of looking at the chart, and it's like, why are the Chargers sitting there at number 7?
Or the Lions or the Packers? I mean,
and you have the Patriots who were in the Super Bowl and the Broncos who were right there at 14 and 15. What are we doing? Like, where do you get these rankings? What is the model? Like, the model seems flawed, in my opinion, if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Mike, we got a freaking 10 bomb from Joseph Murphy. Let's go, buddy. He says, 39-year fan from Indiana. Been here since Steve DeBerg, Christian Okoye. This season will be better than last. Super hype for the new running back room. Let's go. How about them Chiefs, baby? Hey, appreciate you, Joe. And Indiana, our should I say sister to the north?
We'll say our friends up north.
Our friends up north, is that what we'll say?
We'll say our friends up north.
But no, man, glad to have you here. I'm right there with you. I think this year is going to be much better than the last. I think it could be a fantastic bounce back year for the Chiefs, man. I mean, even throughout the greatest dynasties ever in any sport, there's always been down times. Tom Brady went a decade without winning a Super Bowl in between all of that. So, I mean, that one year, it could be a minor setback, but it could be a huge comeback this year, and I'm really starting to feel that as I see the roster kind of take shape. There's a lot of question marks because there's a lot of young players on defense and offense alike, but I just think that it's all coming together because, I mean, really, when you really look at it, I think that the Kenneth Walker thing and really honing in on that run game there, that's going to be the biggest piece, in my opinion, and I really do think the team is invested in it.
Yeah. I think Brett Veach has done a pretty good job this offseason. There's only a few spots that I could minorly nitpick. Maybe defensive line. You maybe want to spend some more money there or whatever. But I think Brett Veach done a pretty good job. Like, the fans basically just – they wanted a new running back room.
Yeah.
They just wanted it overhauled. And, I mean, Brett Veach pretty much did that. He even went away from guys like Kareem Hunt, who were fan favorites that people still wanted to see come back. But he's like, look, we got to go to a youth movement here. He's trying to give you what you wanted. I think where you might fall a bit short may be the wide receiver room. You could say that too. But he did go out and get the one guy he wanted. Yes, he got him in round 6. But from everything we've ever heard, that was the one wide receiver that they targeted from day one that they wanted this entire class.
Right.
So if he comes out to be a failure, chalk that up to coaching, chalk that up to bad scouting. I don't know, but that's who they wanted, and they got it. They feel like that's a huge win. So I think Brett Veach has done a pretty good job.
So let's look at this from an outside angle. So if you're not looking at this as a Chiefs fan, you're fans of other teams, or you're just kind of neutral or whatever, I think the first thing that you're going to look at here when you start talking about this model and if the Chiefs have been disrespected or not is you have to consider a few things. Like, this isn't a 2018 Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, it's just not. He's coming off an ACL injury, but in my opinion, he's more seasoned. He's accomplished now. He's smarter. Like, so, I mean, I absolutely think his best years are in front of him. I happen
Yeah.
to think that myself. But you could say that the AFC is deeper now than it was back during that decade, which is true. They've been doing nothing but gunning after Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs for a decade. Of course, they've built up and they're more competitive now. Baltimore loaded up, Buffalo loaded up. The Chargers are slightly improving year after year, but they just can't seem to get there. But a lot of people think that with Jim Harbaugh, that could change because they have kind of a different outlook on the entire thing. It's not as much flipping coins like Brendan Staley, and it's more about basing themselves with a good defense and a good run game and stuff like that. The Chiefs haven't exactly looked dominant recently. I mean, the last couple of years, I don't think anybody's been real afraid of the Chiefs, to be quite honest about it. So I think when you start looking, from the outside in, it does seem a little bit different and it seems more fair. But I think, people are forgetting that the Chiefs just came off of a juggernaut 15-win season like 2 years ago. And that was with the team not even being that great. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we had problems that season. We had so many one-score games that we won, and we still pulled off a 15-win season and went to the Super Bowl. That's amazing. It just goes to show you, man, the Chiefs can do this at any given time.
Yeah. I mean, you just said that's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, minus last year, let's go to the year before. 15-2, Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, we laid an egg in the Super Bowl. I don't think it should have been that. We were not that worse than the Eagles, 100%.
Yeah, no.
So again, we just have one bad year, one down year. And I think a lot of people forget Tom Brady went a decade without, I don't know if he ever missed the playoffs or anything like that, as bad as we did last year.
But it was a year that he was injured.
Right. And so you've got that, but still it's crazy because you look back at Tom Brady and you think about that and you're like, Tom, there's no way. But yes, Tom Brady, 10 years in between Super Bowl wins. It's crazy to say Patrick Mahomes is done right now. I think that would be a horrible way to spend your money if you're going to bet against him. I think that's crazy. Again, I think there's places we can improve. But I think Brett Veach has tried to go do, and look, we're all forgetting about the coaching hires. Chad O'Shea, Eric Bieniemy, two really good coaching hires. DeMarco Murray, good coaching hire.
Yeah, because I think a lot of our problem was underperforming coaches, right? Bad leadership.
Yes.
And I think Andy Reid finally addressed that. I think that's major for this team coming up. And like I said, we got a lot of young guys, so it's good to have other dudes in the building that are going to be taking over that leadership role. Maybe they get some more out of them. I'm pretty excited about it. You guys get in the chat. Let us know what in particular. Let's eliminate the run game because I think that's the obvious. But outside of the run game, what are you looking at to be the biggest improvement for the Chiefs from last season to this season coming up? What are you most excited about? Let us know in the chat. I see Julia's in the house asking about that tight end room, baby. She's worried. She's worried about that tight end room. We might talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Going to be doing a lot of Chiefs content, even when it's down right now. I know there's not a whole lot going on right now. The mini camp's done, and it's kind of a gap here. But I'm pretty excited to see how this team looks this summer, dude, because there's going to be some good position battles too, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. I mean, even right tackle over there, I don't think it surprised anybody that they traded Wanya Morris, but I think it encouraged people that they're trying to improve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the Chiefs have, again, I think they've done a pretty good job. Wide receiver room's a big one. People are, they're a little uncertain about that one, especially with Rashee Rice and everything. Look, he gets out of jail on Tuesday. He should be ready to go. Everybody said was being able to rehab. Andy thinks he's going to be back ready to go. So that's a positive sign. Again, I don't think that excuses any of his actions or anything like that. But at the same time, it is what it is. You got to move on. We've got some extra positive news. Well, I guess you could read it as positive. Maybe it's not, but it's more speculation. Let's put it that way. A lot of people are wanting to go sign Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was in Missouri just a few days ago signing autographs for Chiefs fans. He says he wrote on Instagram, "I'll see you soon, Chiefs Kingdom." A lot of people are saying, look, is he here? Is he trying to make himself known that he's well? What is it? Steve, this Tyreek Hill thing is not going to go away. It's just kind of sitting there. And I don't know if it's Tyreek Hill playing with people's emotions.
That's a possibility.
Or I don't know if it really is close and we're all seeing it from angles and we're just putting it together waiting for the final announcement.
Yeah, man. Well, sometimes if it, quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. You know what I'm saying? And like this could really be it. It makes the most sense for Tyreek Hill to return to Kansas City after the injury, after the ridiculous contract and everything like that. It just almost feels like home, right? Like it makes sense. And let's be honest here. If Tyreek Hill comes back off that injury, and he's even 80% of the football player that he was, if he's 75% of the football player that he was, he's still the best receiver on our football team or close to it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. So I don't think anyone should be mad at the idea of Tyreek coming back. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like his personality. They don't like the trouble that came along with him, some of the off-field stuff, and I totally understand that. But from a pure football perspective, it would make a whole lot of sense for not only Tyreek Hill but the Chiefs to have that reunion, man. And I think that here's the thing: Tyreek Hill, like you said, he likes to stir the pot, man. If anybody likes to stir the pot, it's Tyreek Hill more than anyone. I mean, he was born a troll, and he loves getting people's reactions. He's been doing it on social media for a decade. It's just what Tyreek Hill does. But I do think there's something to it. I mean, he came back to rehab in Kansas City. He keeps making appearances in Kansas City. He's still best friends with the players in Kansas City. He still has a close connection with Andy Reid and the coaching staff in Kansas City. Even Eric Bieniemy's back. So, I mean, they might get the whole band back together, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, it's possible. A lot of people say a lot of things about Tyreek Hill. He's done. He's not any good. He hasn't been good for years, blah, 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 blah. I don't think Tyreek Hill in this room right now would be a bad thing. I absolutely don't.
Can I just throw something out? Do you really think that signing Tyreek Hill back for a year or two would be any worse than signing back Juju Smith-Schuster again?
Right.
Or signing Hollywood Brown or
Right.
MVS or any of these other guys that they've gone? No, not even remotely close. I think Tyreek will outperform every one of them.
Tyreek
even
Hill
after
at
the knee injury.
50%. At
Yeah.
50%, Tyreek Hill's probably the second best receiver on this roster.
Yeah, dude, like everybody can say what they want to say, but there ain't no way that you're going to get less production than any of those guys I just mentioned out of Tyreek Hill in this offense.
Not to mention, Andy knows how to use him. The Chiefs know how to use him. He fits this well. Patrick Mahomes trusts him. Now, look, does he maybe lose some speed? Does he lose some wiggle? Does he lose some cut? Maybe. That's all got to be determined. I think that's exactly why the Chiefs haven't done nothing yet. I think that's why a lot of teams haven't. Betting favorites right now says he's going to end up with Philly. That just sounds like a Philly move, does it not? Let's just go out and pay Tyreek Hill a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So
they would be the
we'll
team to overpay
see.
him.
I honestly just
chance.
can't look at the situation, though, Steve, and say if we sign Tyreek, he'll be bad. I cannot do that.
Here's my thing. Love Chiefs Kingdom, but I've watched for the last 5 years fans and people even in our comments and everything else pound the table to get back DeMarcus Robinson, to get back Byron Pringle, to get back all these no-names that are not even good. But you're afraid of Tyreek Hill on the cheap? Like, what are we talking about here? Tyreek Hill could cut a leg off and be a better receiver hopping around than DeMarcus Robinson could be, fully healthy. Like, that's just the truth. So I don't understand how anyone could be against it other than, like, moral superiority, where it's just like, no, he's terrible off the field and he's a bad person and this and that. Like, that's the only thing I'll give you. Like, if you don't like that, cool. But there's no way in this world that any of those random guys that everybody wants back in a Chiefs uniform would remotely put up the production that Tyreek Hill will be able to do, even coming off an injury. There's no way you're going to convince me of that.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. I think Tyreek Hill would be a decent person to add to the team. He raises the floor. 100% he raises the floor.
Absolutely. Guys, appreciate y'all being here. Even if you don't like my Tyreek Hill opinion, it's all good. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all let me hear about it in the chat. I want to read it. Y'all tell me why. Tell me why DeMarcus Robinson or Byron Pringle would be a better option than Tyreek Hill ever. I just want to read it. I want to see what you guys have to say. But appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You guys have been awesome over the years. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. We're at like 56 or something like that right now, so we have a long way to go. and we need your help to get this next 44,000, just like we did the first 56. So if you guys could share us out with your friends, family, stuff like that, it goes a long way, and we appreciate you. Real quick, want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Mike, let's put some selections in, brother.
Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring today's episode. Let's make a little bit of an entry here. Let's do some World Cup action. I'm going to take Mexico attacker Julian Quiñones for more 0.5 first half shots. And I'm going to take Santiago Jimenez versus South Africa, 0.5 first half shots as well. Let's also take Czech attacker Patrick Schick at Korea with 0.5 first half shots. We're going to go more there as well. We're going to lock that in. Remember, you guys can follow along with us on PrizePicks at All Chiefed Up. Be sure to go to the link in the description and sign up using code HMA. Now back to the show.
Let's go, baby. Get in that description, click that link, get Prize Picks. Use code HMA when you're signing up. Mike Pops is in the house, baby, gifting out some memberships. Let's go. 5 gifted memberships. Perfect timing for that, too, because we're going to be doing a members-only live stream tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that. Don't know the exact time, but it will be tomorrow evening, night, somewhere in that range, before y'all go get tucked in and go to sleep. We're going to have a members-only live stream. So if you're not a member, you didn't get one of these memberships, and you'd like to be there, we're going to be giving something away tomorrow, right, Mike? Maybe a signed jersey?
Yeah, we may be giving away a signed jersey. We've got some maybe T-shirts. We've got hats. We've got everything. So there's no telling what we're giving away. May give away multiple things tomorrow night just because we got the May live stream is actually going to be 2 weeks late because of surgeries and all kinds of things we've got going on. So, yeah, it got pushed back. So we're going to make up for it.
And if you want to be a part of it, join.allchiefedup.com or hit that join button up at the top of the chat. Appreciate you, old man. If y'all got one of those memberships, make sure to thank him in the chat. Let's freaking go. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Why are you guys comparing Hill to Robinson and Pringle? They're not an option, so why live in the past? So I was making the connection here that if people are against bringing Tyreek Hill back to the Chiefs on the cheap, it doesn't make much sense when it's coming from the same people that have been pounding the table to get back people like DeMarcus Robinson or Byron Pringle over the last several years, which we've heard several times for each. Like
the Chiefs
more
have
than
done
you
it.
know.
How many times they re-signed Mecole Hardman?
So I'm not comparing Hill to those players. The only comparison I made Hill to those players is that he has more talent in his left testicle than they have in their entire football grown men bodies, okay? That's the only comparison I was trying to make. I couldn't quite grasp why anybody would want all that and be against Tyreek Hill coming back. That's all. But, yeah. Anyway, we got a freaking 20 bomb. Mikey likes stuff in the house, baby. Late to the show. What's going on tonight? World Cup has been interesting. Let's go, man. All kinds of interesting stuff going on. The Knicks winning the NBA Finals last night. I mean, you got the Stanley Cup on as we speak. And then you have the World Cup going on. A lot of stuff going on, man. So we appreciate you all spending your time here with All Chiefed Up. That's freaking amazing. And thanks, Mikey, for the 20, man. Yeah, you didn't miss a whole lot. We were talking about the newest ESPN FPI rankings. They have Chiefs at number 9. Trying to see if that's a little bit slightful to the Chiefs or if you think it's fair. We talked about that a little bit. Then we talked about Tyreek Hill popping his head up in Kansas City quite a bit and all that smoke about him coming back to the Chiefs. We got a 5 bomb from our boy Shane. Says, just wanted to say what's up, my brothers. Love y'all and the amazing Chiefs content. Love you too, Shane. Appreciate the support, brother. You've always been awesome. So thanks for the 5. And I hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, man. What else we got going on, Michael?
Not a lot, man. I did find an interesting article I wanted to talk about just a little bit. And then, I mean, we'll open it up to the chat and let everybody just talk about whatever you want to. But every so often we get, we start hammering on who's going to retire. The past few years it's been Kelsey and Andy Reid on loop. That seems to be the loop here. Yeah. But again, this week it pops up again. I think it was Fox Sports, Jason LaConfora said that he heard from people inside the NFL. This was the quote. Andy Reid could retire if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl in 2026. He says, quote, his health has been a concern at times. Some of their key pieces are nearing the end of their time with the team. The allure of being with Patrick Mahomes as long as possible has to be quite strong, but then again, nothing lasts forever. He goes on to say most Chiefs fans would reportedly accept this possibility without hesitation, framed as good for Reid's legacy, even if it was painful to the team. Reid is 67 years old and has spent over a quarter century as an NFL head coach and has cemented his legacy in KC with 3 Super Bowl titles. And in 2026, if they won again and he retired, he would have 4 Super Bowl titles. So what do you think? Do you think a win it and walk away narrative right here in 2026 would be something Andy Reid would do, or do you think he would just sit here and continually go forward?
Is it impossible? No. But do I think that? I don't, man. I think Andy Reid loves the game too much. I think until Andy Reid physically cannot stand on a sideline, he's going to coach football. I think that's his life. I think it's what he's dedicated to. I don't even know if him and his wife would know what to do if he wasn't a football coach. You know, like, I mean,
Yeah.
Andy is a dog. Andy is a legend. And I think he's going to continue to coach as long as he can. Now, could that just be at the end of the year? Absolutely. You never know what life throws at you. But I think if he's healthy, I think things going that way, whether they win it or not this year, I think Andy Reid's going to stick around for a little while. Not sure how long. I mean, I can't predict what somebody's going to do or make what decision they're going to make. But I don't think that this is something that we need to even be talking about at the moment, no.
For me, I feel like it would be the other way. I feel like it's more possible and more plausible that Andy were to maybe struggle. Now, I'm not saying we missed the playoffs or anything, but I'm saying maybe we struggle for the next 2 or 3 years, and it becomes a thing where he wants to step away because he don't think he's there. He's not as sharp. I think if we're winning, it fuels him to keep going, in my opinion. I don't think Andy's the win it and walk kind of guy. I think win it, and he's like more fired up to keep it going.
Let's go get
So
another
for me,
one.
I think it would be the other way around. I believe if he continually keeps like losing with Patrick Mahomes, maybe he self-assesses and says, look, I don't want to hinder this guy going forward. Let me step away. The game's pushing by me a little bit.
I think you might be right about that for sure. But I think like if they go win a championship this year, that'd be four notches on the belt with Patrick Mahomes. And I think Andy would be ready to go get 5.
And you're right there to get 5 and 6 and 7 and just keep going.
Absolutely, man. For sure. Mike, we got a freaking 10 bomb from Todd. Let's go. Todd rules with a 10 bomb.
Todd.
Says keep it chiefed up, baby. That's the plan. We plan to keep it there. Y'all keep it chiefed up too. Know it's a little bit of dead time of the off season, but let's go. Mikey with another 5 says let him go on vacation. Spags is head coach and let an OC and Mahomes work some magic. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like Spags as a head coach kind of scares me a slight bit when you see what he did as a head coach, and then when you see some like Spags. Don't get me wrong. I think Spags is one of the best defensive coordinators to ever do it. I think if you're going single game situation, like I have one football game to play and win here, who is my DC going to be? You almost are going to take Steve Spagnuolo. Like you have to. Like he's right there. But the head coach thing scares me because you still see, even as an elite defensive coordinator, you still see certain little things like last year where the personnel was trash on defense. Like we couldn't get it right to save our life, and we had guys that couldn't play football to save their lives, but they played every snap.
Questionable decisions there by Spags.
Right. So I don't know about it.
Okay, look, Andy's 67. Spags is 66.
Yeah,
he's not a young pup either. I mean, I don't know. Now, I would maybe go after, like, okay, if you can give me Sean McVay, I'd be fine with it.
You have to go after some young,
You've got to go after
hungry
somebody
talent.
worth of crap. When Andy decides to leave, I think you go after the hottest name in sports.
Yeah.
And you say, you've got 5 or 6 good years with Mahomes. Come get it.
Right. I mean, look, man, you have Matt Stafford getting ready to retire. You know, we got Patrick Mahomes over here, you know. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, though, did they re-sign something for long term? I don't know how that
I don't
worked,
know
but
either. Who knows? Can they get out of
man?
that stuff? And then I'm sure the coaches can get out of that crap. Like, there's got to be a way, right? Fred, been a member for 9 months now, says, I love this show. You guys really are the best. Appreciate you, Fred. You're the best, man. Thanks for all the support you've given us over the years. We appreciate that. We don't forget about anything like that. So shout out, Fred. Lego in the house. What's up, Lego? He says,
What's up, Lego? How you doing,
make
brother?
it to the playoffs this year, which coach is on the hot seat, if anyone? If we don't make it to the playoffs this year, Andy Reid might lose his job.
If he don't, it's going to get really close. So I would definitely say Andy would be on the hot seat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, obviously, last year sucked, but what happened over the last decade, you're like, minor glitch. Like let's reset. Let's get this thing back. I think Andy is, like I've said all offseason, Andy's completely safe in Kansas City. If you go up put up 2 back-to-back stinkers with Patrick Mahomes, that's where you're going to be on the hot seat. His butt's going to be burning a little bit, brother.
Also, if it's the same problems, you continue to neglect the run game. Your offense still looks stagnant. Bieniemy's not being able to help because you are essentially calling plays and taking over. I think that becomes more like, look, this offense isn't getting any better. Andy's not relinquishing anything. There may be some hot seat there. Now, I don't know if they would just 100% force him out. It would have to be maybe a mutual decision.
I think it would be more of a 3 strikes you're out type thing. Like, dude, this is it. Like, this next season, like, you better win something. Like, yeah. But no, he'd definitely go on the hot seat. 100%. But fair question, though. Punky says, but Andy does not run the ball, ? Punky Brewster in the house. Forgot she existed. But hey, Andy doesn't run the football. Or does he? Because when he has elite running backs, he sure did run the football. He ran the football with Jamal Charles. He ran the football with Shady McCoy. He ran the football with, Westbrook. When he's got guys at work.
He ran the football year 1 with Clyde.
Kareem Hunt.
They ran the football.
So when you have a viable option, then yes, I think Andy will run the ball. Now, he's always going to run the ball less than you wish he would. Like, let's just get that straight. Like, we're just God, man, just give us 20 carries. Kenneth Walker needs 20 carries a game, and we win them all. Like, that's what I want to say to Andy. Like, I think he would take that wager. And I really do, man. And that's where they ought to be. So Andy doesn't have to be a run first, just run heavy, smash mouth offense type. He's never going to be that. That's just not Andy. But I do think if you have a guy in the backfield that can create the fireworks that Kenneth Walker can create, Andy likes some fireworks. So he's going to give him opportunities.
I'm with you. You give Kenneth Walker 20 carries per game. Maybe another couple touches in the pass game. So maybe 23 touches.
Yeah.
You give RB2, be it Johnson, be it DeMercado, whoever, give them 5 or 6 touches.
Right.
Let maybe Brashard Smith get a couple touches and maybe Emmett Johnson get a couple touches. Get to 30 running back touches. I'm not saying carries.
Emmett Johnson, baby. Emmett
touches.
Johnson.
Absolutely.
Forgot.
I believe it. You let that running back room
so
get 30
soon after
touches.
The draft, I forgot we had Emmett Johnson on the roster, baby.
30 touches, man. I think that's all you need. I think that would free up and open up the middle of the field enough that Kelsey eats again.
Yeah.
I think that Cyrus Allen could actually, if they would let him, could be a viable, just a beast option out there running routes over the middle of the field. I think he could be really good. Yeah,
for sure, man. Lego with another question says, do y'all think that by not having a dedicated halfback in the field is making the playbook just that much more limited? So do y'all think by not having a dedicated halfback, I mean, the dedicated halfback is going to be Kenneth Walker more than we've seen in a while because, Isaiah Pacheco's been RB1, but I mean, let's be honest here, Andy didn't really run him like one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd see Kareem Hunt get more carries than him sometimes. Andy's been known to be a running back by committee type guy. People say that, but when you really look back at when he had really good running backs, not so much. So I think this year's going to be a little bit different, man. I fully expect Kenneth Walker to get RB1 carries and get the opportunities, and I think he's going to be our bell cow.
I love Kenneth Walker. That's all I want to say. I'm excited for Kenneth Walker. Like, from everything I'm hearing out of camp, from everything I've been able to read, from everything I've been able to see, Kenneth Walker looks like he is going to fit into this offense well. I want Eric Bieniemy to stay on his butt. I want Andy Heck to develop your talent properly, please, sir. And I want Bieniemy and Andy to come together and find a good amount of runs and not just second and long over and over again. Let's be smart. I think this team is good. I think this offense at least goes up 7-8 points average per game.
I want to tell you all a little story time. Back when Isaiah Pacheco was a rookie, Kenneth Walker was also a rookie that year. They went in the same draft, right? So I remember when it come fantasy football time, me and a group of friends that played fantasy football, I nabbed up Isaiah Pacheco and put him on the bench because I just had a feeling like everybody else did. Clyde was kind of not that great, and you never know what you're going to get here. And I remember one particular guy, which he's a Knicks fan. Shout out him. They won a championship. I bet he's happy as hell. But he was like, he would always give me crap. He'd call him Polanco. He's like, who the hell's this guy? Who's Polanco? Like, what's he going to do? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why do you want this guy? He's dumb. And he gave me so much shit about it. And, I was like, he was like, I'll bet you $1 million. I would bet you $1 million that in 5 years from now, there's no way Polanco is going to be as good as Kenneth Walker III. And I was like, you're right. He won't be. But I bet you he gets a ring before him. And we had that conversation. It's just funny now. It's full circle because Kenneth Walker is the better running back, and now he's a Chief. And it's just hilarious. Yeah. So I always think about that story.
Pacheco did have a ring first.
He did. I was right.
But what's
we were both right.
Is that Walker got a ring too?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we were both right. It's just a funny story. I always think about that when I think about Kenneth Walker being a Chief now. I just think it's funny. Fred with the 10 bomb says, I think EB would be good as a head coach. I would like to see him get his shot eventually. I think, there was a big thing why he can't get one. It got turned into a racial issue. It turned into all kinds of different things why he couldn't get one. A lot of people thought it was just because he was in Andy Reid's shadow. And I think that point was kind of proven when he went away from Andy Reid and didn't succeed anywhere, right? So he's got to break that stigma. I think coming back to the Chiefs was a smart move for Eric Bieniemy and the Chiefs. I like that reunification there. I think that's going to be a good thing for this team. But yeah, I think EB could be. He's a players type guy. He's hard on them, and he'll argue with them, and they'll hate him one second, but ultimately they love him. They all talk about him, great. So I mean, I think he might get a shot at it, Fred. He's getting there. I mean, sometimes things don't come as easy as you'd wish, and it's we don't go on our timing, we go on God's timing, right? So maybe EB will get his shot, 5-6 years later than we thought.
Maybe it's just going to be right here in Kansas City.
It could be. It really could be.
Yeah, maybe he's the Andy Reid successor.
Yeah. Chief KT, been a member for 31 months now, says we might as well just pay Rice at this point. I don't think that's going to happen, brother. Something tells me that they're not going to pay him. I don't know, though. You never know. Wouldn't that be like the most Brett Veach Chiefs things ever to turn around and just pay Rashee Rice after all this trouble?
Does he have any leverage in negotiation at this point?
No, they might get a good deal.
You might get a great deal. I think it depends. If he comes back from this point on and you don't hear a peep but positivity, and he learned the lesson this time, and he puts up all season. You don't have the drop problems. You don't have the missed practices, I'm not saying he missed practices, but I'm just saying you just don't have no problems. It's possible that they say, look, you're not getting nothing on the open market. We've completely established that. They could do it. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think I would want to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, we got Joseph Murphy asking about Cliff Kingsbury. So we've made that connection all along. A lot of us have, right? We thought it'd be cool to see Kingsbury back with Mahomes and stuff like that. I mean, you saw what they were able to do at Texas Tech. Obviously, you're not really going to run that type of offense in the NFL very successfully. But I do think there would be a good connection there. That's cool. It's interesting. So far, it don't look like the Chiefs have had any interest in that. Cliff Kingsbury hasn't had the greatest success in the NFL. He's not been bad, but he's not been good. I don't know. It's interesting, though. It's always on the table. It's a possibility that's out there.
Maybe you get Bieniemy as head coach and Cliff comes in as the OC.
That would be okay. Dude, if that's what you saw in the Chiefs' future 5 years from now, Cliff Kingsbury's a head coach Eric Bieniemy's a head coach and Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator, would you be okay with that?
Maybe.
Or would you feel better with 5 years,
available.
5-6 years from now, Andy retires and Sean McVay's the head coach?
Could be somebody else
Which one would you rather have?
Yeah, I'm going to leave my options open. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But no, it's interesting. It's fun to talk about. I mean, I think I would lean towards Sean McVay right now. He's proven that he knows what to do, man. So, yeah, that'd be fun. It's fun to think about. Guys, appreciate y'all being here. We're going to be here for a little while longer tonight. So if you have any questions, make sure to get them in the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Also, if you super chat, we'll make sure we get all of those. But appreciate you all. Once again, we're doing a members only live tomorrow night. So if you're not a member of the channel, go to join.allchiefedup.com. It's just $4.99 a month. Can't even buy a bag of Doritos for that, baby. It's going to be totally worth it. We're going to give some stuff away tomorrow night on that members only. And then we'll have another one later this month, too. We have to double up. So get in on the action. Now's a good time to do that. Also, like this live stream. Share it with your friends, family, whatever. That would be awesome. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, shout out Prize Picks once again for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Get down in the description. Click that link. Download Prize Picks and use code HMA. And they'll know that All Chiefed Up sent you their way. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about what's to come for the Chiefs. I think after last season, that was a downer. Everybody is down, but I think the only thing you can do right now is be optimistic, right? And they've made the moves. They've made some things that I thought were necessary. So I think it's why not be positive? You know, why not? Fred with the 5 bomb says, did we talk about the right tackle was running late tonight? So better late than never, Fred. I like to always get that across. So we appreciate you being here. We talked about the right tackle for like a split second, but we didn't really talk about it. We talked about the fact that they traded away Wanye. He was never part of the equation. Right now, it's Jalen Moore's job to lose. But Esapole really showed out last year. And then, of course, Khalil Benson coming in here kind of puts some stuff in the mix. I think that he's got some promise. So I would say that this is one of the positions that I'm not warm and fuzzy about, though. Like, you know, if you told me, like, pick 3 positions that you're just kind of like about with the Chiefs, I think that right tackle falls into that top 3. I mean, you could go wide receiver, you could go linebacker, you could go tight end, but I think I'd have to put right tackle in that mix.
Yeah, it would be right there. But here's what I'll say. I do think Khalil Benson, I like the trajectory he's on. I did a whole video about it. Then the next day, like, Khalil Benson took off.
Blew up.
I hope I hyped the guy up a little bit. I hope it helps his confidence. I hope that's what kicked it off. Here's what I'll say. I really hope that he succeeds for all of our sakes. I would love it. That would be a cheap right tackle option for years. I don't think Jalen Moore would be a total failure if you have to play him all year long. Esapole shows good possibility and good signs as well. So I don't know if I'm 100% down on the position. I was on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being Lane Johnson, 1 being if you had to start Wanye Morris. I'm somewhere around 6 to 7 here. I do think it could be upgraded, but I don't know if a rookie coming in the draft this year, like if we would have took a right tackle, let's say like if we'd have just traded back and took one at like number 11, say you got a tackle there, I don't know if that right tackle would be just as good this year as what you've got on the roster right now. Let's put it that way.
That's fair. Guys, I see a lot of you in the chat talking about not getting notifications to our channel. This has been something we've struggled with since day one. But I will say this, just to cover all your bases, like maybe turn off the notifications, turn them back on, and then go into your phone settings and make sure that you allow notifications from YouTube on your phone. And then make sure that you allow notifications completely on your phone. It could be a lot of different things. But yeah, just follow those steps there. And hopefully it'll start doing better for you because we'd love to see y'all here each and every time we get on. And I know that's annoying. But yeah, maybe that might help. I don't know.
Yeah, we know there's a problem there because on the last video that we had, I mean, I'm talking like it was a big video. We had 0% watches from click notifications. Now, I know we've got tons and tons and tons of people out there with notifications on waiting to watch videos. And that helps with the push. That helps with YouTube. But again, nobody is getting notifications. And then we're getting punished for it because YouTube's a slapnut. That's basically where it's at. So do everything you can. And also just notice that lately, if we're releasing videos, live streams are going to be on Thursdays and Sundays.
Yeah, just
usually about
that.
9 p.m., 8 p.m. For you guys. And then usually full-length videos will be Tuesdays and Wednesdays around 6 p.m., 5 p.m. your time.
Yeah,
so
we're going to try to get more and more content out for you.
Remember
guys,
that.
By the way, we're trying to give you all more content. We're working on that.
Yeah,
so
we're working on that.
Getting a schedule together. Richie says I did all that and it helped, but YouTube still don't like you. LOL. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
They don't.
They've always kind of just they treated us like the redheaded stepchild of YouTube. They do.
Yeah, they don't like us.
I don't know why, man. I don't know what we did to them. But just since day one, they don't like the looks of us. They said those hillbillies that like the Chiefs don't deserve a notification. That's great. Yeah, some of them will come up after the show starts and everything, but at least you got one. But yeah, I would try that. Turn it off, turn it back on. Make sure your phone allows YouTube to send you notifications, and then make sure that your notifications are turned on your phone. It's the only thing I can say. Give that a shot, see if that helps, man. Hopefully it does. But we appreciate y'all being here nonetheless. Any way y'all got here, any way y'all found us, we appreciate you guys spending your time with us. And we'd like for you to do that more often. It's always a good time, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't and all that fun stuff. Lego says, Chiefs win and loss record this year. And it's early to be doing this, and we know that. But I think I've not really settled on an actual record yet. But like naturally you want to say a lot of games because like, oh, the Chiefs, they're great, Patrick Mahomes. But then you think about last year. I think a fair goal for the Chiefs this year would be to win 11 games. 11 games. I think that's a killer. And I think we make the playoffs with that. We get a shot at the Super Bowl with that. That's just where I'm at. 12-5 would be fantastic, Joseph. I would not argue with that either. And I would hope for more like a 12 or 13 win season. But I think 11 is a fair goal.
I see it between 12 wins and 10 wins. I would. Well, yes, exactly. But I'm just saying, I find it really hard to believe this team gets less than 10 wins this year. Now, is it possible? Absolutely. Everything's possible, especially seeing what we've seen last year. But I feel like the team's just we're too well coached with Andy. Now, let's get it together everywhere else, which I think we did. But we just feel like we have too much experience to do this 2 years in a row, I think. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. It's very possible we win 7, 8, 9 games again, and by then I'll be completely in a mental institution.
I will say if they only win 6, 7 games again this season, you're very close to tearing the floors out and redoing the whole thing. You're very close to it.
You almost have to be because you cannot squander any more Patrick Mahomes prime.
Can't do it. Ray says, Mike and Steve, do you think Chad O'Shea will have a big impact in the wide receiver room, especially Worthy? Yes and yes. So I think Chad O'Shea was a tremendous hire. I think that it made a lot of sense. We didn't think that the Chiefs wide receivers were that bad last year. You think about the talent that you have and everything, and it feels like it should be much better than it was. And then when you go look at the statistics and you realize that they got less separation than any other team in the entire NFL, you realize there's a problem. And we know these guys are talented. We know they could run fast as hell. Like, what is the problem here? What's the missing link? Well, damn, they're not running the routes the way they should be. They're not setting their guys up the way they should be. They're not being smart. They're not playing smart football. And that comes from coaching. So I think O'Shea was a common sense hire. I mean, this guy literally specializes in creating separation. And he's done that throughout his career with minimal talent. He's gave guys like Julian Edelman careers that only people could dream of with that talent level. So I think getting him in here and getting him working with these receivers on how to use leverage and how to get themselves separated, I think it's going to be huge for the team. I really do. I expect to see much, much more from our passing game this year. I think Patrick should have a lot bigger windows to throw in, and I think that these guys should have a lot more room to create yak after.
I'm buying all Xavier Worthy this year. I think Xavier Worthy is going to have a good year.
Yeah. And Cyrus Allen, I think, excellent route runner. They're big on him. I don't know how much playing time he'll get as a rookie. You never really know with Andy, especially with the receivers. He was forced to use Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy a lot in the rookie season. You never know. I think if Cyrus gets up there and does his thing, I think that he could see some PT. And I really want to see Jalen Royals show up, bro. Like, I understand there's been a lot of injuries and things like that, but I do think that he could be a special player. He has all those tools. Mike,
he did look good last week.
His college tape at times makes you think of Jamar Chase even at times, and you're just like, this guy has he has it. It's just getting it out there and getting it on the NFL field. And I think that hopefully this year we can see a breakout from him too. And then, of course, everybody's horned up about Jeff Caldwell, Richie. This dude, you said you saw where he might become a tight end. Look, I don't know if he'll be a receiver, a tight end in this league or what, but I do know the guy broke the RAS score. He's probably the most athletic person we've ever seen. So, I mean, there's a lot of hope with that, right? And there's a lot left to be desired as a receiver when you watch his tape, but that doesn't mean he can't improve. The kid's an insane athlete, and I'm rooting for him.
Same. I hope that Jalen Royals gets a shot to play this year a lot. I really do think Jalen Royals could be decent. And, again, I hope they play Cyrus Allen early. I mean, Ray said it in the chat. Rice playing his rookie season paid off. I think it could pay off for Cyrus Allen, too.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I think we got to stop slow walking these guys a little bit. These guys are coming in more ready.
Yep. Mike, I brought this one up because I think this is something that the Chiefs absolutely have to get implemented back in their offense. This is something that we've been missing over the last couple of years as a stagnant, crappy offense. The Guru says, can we expect Eric Bieniemy will infuse running backs in the pass game more often and clever than Matt Nagy did? So here's the thing. When we had Jerick McKinnon, when we had Damian Williams, early Kareem Hunt, like these guys were big parts of the pass attack. And over the last couple of years, we've had zero of that. I can't think of one significant pass play to a running back in 2 years. And that is a big part of the game.
The only one I can think of is when Pacheco turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's like the most obvious pass play I think I can remember to a running back.
Like, that's my thing. Like, that was always a big part of the Andy Reid offense, even with fullbacks, even with Big Sherm and Mike Burton. Like, those guys were involved in the pass game. We've not seen any of that, and I think that's a big piece that's been missing, and I'm with you. I think that that's something they should be getting back into the offense, and I fully expect to see that, and I hope Eric Bieniemy can be a part of that, making it happen, because I think that's something they've been missing, dude. John, been a member for 22 months now. What's up, John? Good to see you, brother. He says, this is just my opinion. How can the Chiefs keep paying these high salaries? Not understand why they can't afford great talent surrounding Mahomes. So the Chiefs, like the way this Chiefs roster is built, it's kind of weird. It's like an anomaly, right? It's like they've never really paid anyone outside of Mahomes, but when you really think about it, I mean, Chris Jones got paid a boatload of money. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith. It's kind of like they attack things differently. They've never went out and got him the flashy receiver, and stuff like that. But they have kind of paid the trenches, if you think about it. That's probably where most of their money goes. I mean, Kelsey had to be paid eventually. He went through his entire career being underpaid. He's the best tight end in football to ever do it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. You always see these teams like the Eagles who have endless salary cap and sign everybody and their brother. But the Chiefs are always in that tight spot where it's like, we don't really have the money to do that, It's weird.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs, they've always did that philosophy where they basically pay offense and draft defense. That's kind of how they did. Of course, you're not going to pay Chris Jones. But you've seen it. You've seen it with Snead early. Like, they wasn't going to pay him. They didn't pay McDuffie. They didn't pay Jalen Watson. Like, they're just not going to do it. Like, they did pay Nick Bolton, which seems to be the weird one. I think Spags was behind that.
Yeah, it was more of he's our quarterback.
But that was a very odd one to choose to pay because it felt like he was a little overpaid.
Right.
But yeah, I will say the trenches, they'll go to the trenches. It seems like they'll pay their pillars and then they're wanting to build around. That's what they do.
That's what you got to do, baby. I think it makes sense, but you got to be able to draft well and develop. Chiefs 007 with a freaking 50 bomb. Let's go. 007, baby. He says, are we more likely to win the Super Bowl or more likely to miss the playoffs? Love the question. He says, I know it's both extremes, but it's a nice metric. I really think we need to start 7-3, 8-2 going into the back half. It was a tough watch a lot of games last year. I've lost some faith naturally. I think everybody has. I think that the beginning of the season schedule is favorable for the Chiefs. I don't like the early bye, but I do think that we should come out hot. Like, we could potentially be 4-0 by the bye, right? So I'm with you. I think we need to have a really good start to the season. Mike, what's more likely? The Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year or miss the playoffs? Like, honestly, what's your take on that one?
I don't want to be a downer, but I think with this scenario, you would have to miss the playoffs. I think you're closer to miss the playoffs because of what we seen last year and because of Mahomes' injury, because of some of the uncertainties we've not seen the offense been turned around. We don't know how Rashee Rice is going to come out and play week 1, and then if Rashee Rice can't do it, we haven't seen what Chad O'Shea's been able to instill yet. Maybe Worthy's not getting as much as we think. Maybe Camp just makes everybody look good. Spags has to turn around and take an entire young defense that still didn't up that pass rush very much. They did add to it, but I think this is going to pay off 2 and 3 years down the road with guys like Peter Woods and Ashton Gelati in year 2 and R. Mason Thomas. These could be things that pay off, but your linebacker core is a little weak. Your safeties could possibly, you could say, is a little tad weak. Even corner, depending if that shoulder turns out to be something that lingers, or maybe he's just not picking it up as well as McDuffie did. Fulton can't stay healthy. There's a few things. I would say if I had to pick the two extremes, I'm closer right now to say miss the playoffs before I want to blow smoke and tell you they're going to win a Super Bowl, because I do think this team is good enough to win the Super Bowl. But again, that's something we're going to have to see throughout the season. And once you get to that, like week 13, 14, 15, 16, that is a brutal run. We are going to know how this team is once we get, starting with Thanksgiving and the Bills. You're going to see a monstrous run. The Chiefs are going to have to pick it up. You can't have down games. You can't have dead games. You got to see where your defense is at, where your offense is at. So I think for right this second, on June 14th, I would have to say, sadly, miss the playoffs. I just can't blow that smoke the other way.
Well, I'm going to blow the smoke.
Okay. Hey, that's why we're here. We got two different opinions.
Because here's the thing, dude. I think naturally the most likely scenario is that it falls somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah, I can see us just making the playoffs and get bounced maybe. But.
Right. I think that's the most likely scenario. And here's my thing. I cannot see a world where Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. We saw the biggest string of shitty offense and bad luck last year. Every ball bounced the wrong way. Every one-score game went the wrong way. All the stars had to align for the Chiefs to suck as much ass as they sucked last year. And I just can't, in my world and in my heart, Mike, believe that 2 years in a row that Patrick Mahomes is going to miss the playoffs. God forbid injuries. Let's just say he stays healthy all year. There's no way. I can't buy it. So I think I would put my money more towards they'll win the Super Bowl, because I just don't see a world where they miss the playoffs twice in a row. It blows my mind that they did it once. But when I really look at it, like I said, a lot of bad luck. A lot of games went the wrong way. A lot of injuries. Just all kinds of stuff. Everything had to go wrong. So I would go more towards they win the Super Bowl.
A lot of good young teams in the AFC too. Only 7 get in, 8 get in. I don't remember how many now.
Right.
It's I'm in the middle of the off season. Don't care.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, not a lot of teams get in, and there's a lot of good young teams. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You need to win 11, 12 games. That's for sure. You're on that 10 win, you're going to be pushing it.
Yeah. Fred with a 5 bomb says, I like KB as a right tackle. So he likes Khalil Benson. Even as a rookie, you just put him out there and let him roll, huh? I do like his the ceiling that he has. I like the fact that he is a proven winner. He played on the championship team last year in college football. He's played with 2 different programs. I love the promise that the kid has. I doubt he will be the starting right tackle, though. I will say that. It's probably going to be Jalen Moore, and Asapole is probably going to be the one right behind him.
They're definitely going to get more first crack at it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It could end up being that way. Cam for a 1-year flyer as a player, coach, leader. I'm for it. I'll buy that all day. We've been on record on this channel several times being like, hey, back when we used to pay Terrell Suggs for a season, back when we used to take Melvin Ingram for a season or 2, back when we took Carlos Dunlap for a year or 2, those were valuable signings. And it wasn't because they were at the top of their game, they're at their prime. It wasn't because they were game changers. They showed up when they needed to. They were smart. They were seasoned. They knew what to do, and you could trust them. And they were also leaders on the field, which I think this group of young guys we have on the defensive line could use. And I'm all in. If you can get Cam for a decent price, do it. I think it would be beneficial.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Cam Jordan than Cam Newton. So let's
You
take
don't
Cam
want
Jordan.
Abraham Lincoln's ass out there playing some football.
No.
That hat, he might have a corncob pipe sticking out of his helmet.
Can't do it. Hey, the Guru asked a question I kind of wanted to touch.
Do it to it.
Watch it happen if Butker is still struggling in 2026. Steve, you see Butker struggling 2 years in a row? And if so,
Look,
is it
man,
time to cut ties with the butt kicker?
So here's my thing with Harrison Butker. If it wasn't for Harrison Butker, the Chiefs might not be sitting on 3 rings in the last 7 or 8 years. Harrison Butker is the most clutch kicker I've ever watched. Ice cold blood in his veins. He has kicked significant field goals to win AFC championships, to win Super Bowls, and he didn't flinch. Now, he does have his problems. Let's not get that twisted. You'll see him start missing some extra points. You'll see him shank something here and there. But Butker has proven that he deserves everything that he gets. He's a beast. Now, Mike, we've been watching the UFL lately. We watched the Louisville Kings. Shout out Louisville Kings winning that bad boy that in their first season. But we've been watching UFL. There's guys in there that can kick the football country mile. The guy that played for Louisville had a 64-yarder and a 61-yarder in the same game. Like, there are guys that can absolutely kick the football. But finding somebody with the clutch gene that is that cold and that just stone cold in the hardest moments and the craziest nerve-wracking moments of your life, that's rare.
Yeah.
And Butker has it. So I would, Butker, we pay him a lot as a kicker, but man, that's invaluable. Like, what he's been able to do for the Chiefs is invaluable. I think, let's hope he don't struggle again, but if he does, I think Butker has a little bit of leeway just because he's Harrison Butker. But yeah, I mean, if he has a bad season, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to move on to something else. A lot of good
He may
kickers
get
out
leeway throughout the season. If it comes out as bad as it did last year, you can see the Chiefs trying to get out of that.
there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Guys, we appreciate y'all being here tonight. Do us a favor. Hit that like button for us. That would be awesome. We got a 5 bomb from 007. Says Tyreek's agent said he's going to be ready week 1. Do you think this was their plan at wide receiver all along? So do I think it was their plan? Not necessarily, but do I think it could be the plan? Yes. I think it could have just worked out that way. Tyreek being ready to go by week 1 is just like Mahomes being ready to go by week 1. Like, it's like, it could happen. It could. Tyreek probably a little less than Mahomes, but even if you only get, even if Tyreek misses a month of the season, if you can get him on the cheap, bro, I think it's still worth it. But do you think that was the Chiefs' plan just to sign Tyreek Hill back? Do you think they've always planned on doing that, Mike? Or do you think maybe, that was just smoke, but now as the stars kind of align, maybe it's a good idea?
Yeah, I don't know if it was always the plan. I don't even know. I don't think it was always the plan, but I'm with you. I think if the stars do align, if he does get back, I mean, we just seen him with a cast on his arm lately, or not a cast, but a brace. So what's going on there? But then the other day when he was throwing footballs at the meet and greet and the signing, he didn't do that. So maybe that's nothing too, but I don't think it was their plan all along. I don't think they could foresee the future that well, but I think that now that it's here, it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. Brenda, a girl in the house with the 10 bomb, says, good evening. Almost missed another live because no notice again. Good to see everyone looking good. Brenda, we had a whole discussion about this earlier. No one's getting their notifications. So the only thing that I could tell everybody, and I told them earlier, but I'll say it once again, the only thing I can tell you is maybe turn off the notifications, turn them back on YouTube, click the bell again. Then on your phone, make sure that your phone allows notifications from YouTube, and then make sure that your notifications are on in general. I hope that helps. I truly do, because
that's all we can really do.
It's a freaking bummer. It's a bummer that YouTube always kind of has us in the doghouse for whatever reason. I don't understand it. But hopefully that helps. If not, live streams Sunday nights, Thursday nights. Just kind of keep an eye out, and we might try to throw some more in here and there. But that's kind of the mainstay. Appreciate the 10, Brenda. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Chiefs 007 with another 5, says Will Stein, landing them left and right. We're officially a football school, baby. Let's go. I'm excited about Kentucky this season, brother. Stoops had gotten stale. We got Stein in there. And like you said, we're landing them left and right, baby.
They go from Stoops to Stein. I like Will Stein. He's a good coach. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited, though. Appreciate the 5, brother. Let's hope we're a football school. I like football better than basketball, and basketball hasn't even been working out great for us lately. Mark Pope doesn't know what he's doing out there. And that's sad to say because I loved Mark Pope back in '96 as a child, watching the best NCAA basketball team ever created. But he just ain't coaching them up, brother. He's not doing it. Guys, appreciate y'all being here. Thanks so much. Do us a favor, hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll be back with tons of more Chiefs content. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Check the description. Click the link. Download Prize Picks. Use code HMA when you're signing up, and we would appreciate you. Let's freaking go. We'll see you next time.
Get wild.